Velkommen til Stutteri 2022 online hængstepræstation. Tilbage i 2021 kørte vi det samme online hængstepræstation på grund af, at coronaen gjorde, at det var umuligt for os at lave en live hængstefremvisning. Det er sådan, at heldigvis i år har vi stadigvæk mulighed for at holde en live hængstefremvisning, og det er den 23. april. Jeg håber, vi ses. Nyd videoen.
Casado-esque, a 7-year-old stallion out of strong German performance blood. Casal-esque, Corrado 1, and Legano. His father Casal-esque is a legend in both breeding and sports. With Rolf-Jørgen Bengtsson in the saddle, he has for many years been an important part of the Swedish national team, and among others represented the Swedish colours at the Olympics 2012, the European Championships 2013, and at World Equestrian Games in 2014, where they have achieved top results individually and for the team. Casado-esque follows his father's footsteps, and despite his young age, he has already won several victories. He has been named Premium Stallion in Danish Warm Blood and won the Danish Championship for young horses at the age of 4, and again last year as 6 years old. The grandsire Corrado 1 has won several Grand Prix, and as breeding stallion, he has been a great success. Among some of the most famous offspring can be mentioned Unita-esque, who with Rolf-Jørgen Bengtsson participated in the Olympics in Rio, and Corradina, who became number 2 individually and 3rd for team at the European Championships in winter, with Carsten Otto Nagel in the saddle. Perhaps his most spectacular son is the Holstein stallion Clinton, who was placed individually as number 4 at the Olympics in Athens and won silver in Aachen in 2015. And not least, he is the father of the legendary Cornet Oblinsky. Casado's mother, Shania, has been awarded elite status in Danish Warm Bloods. She is, among others, also the dam of the mare Detroit, who has jumped 150 centimeter, and the elite silver mare Cambodia, who in 2013 won the Danish Warm Blood Young Horse Championship and is the dam of the approved stallion Canando Hestak. Casado-esque is now approved in Danish and Swedish Warm Bloods, Holstein, Oldenburger, Hannoveraner Verband, and Westfalen.
Hej alle sammen, jeg sidder her på Casado-esque. Han er blevet 7 år, og vi har dannet par nu i 1 år efterhånden. Vi har haft en masse gode oplevelser. Vi har blandt andet deltaget til UVM på Sangershejde, og så har vi reddet championatsfinaler, hvor han var den bedste 6-års hest, der fik 9,2 i karakter og var hurtigst i omspringning. Planen med ham i år, det er, at han skal ud og gå Falsterbo og Sangershejde som de primære mål. Så regner jeg også med, at han skal tage et step op højdemæssigt, hvor han kommer til at gå 140 og 45. Han besidder jo en enorm kapacitet, er dejlig ridelig og forsigtig, så jeg synes faktisk, han har hele pakken ham her.
After 2 years of successful breeding in Sweden and the Netherlands, 16-year-old Sissi Senior-esque by Cassini 1, Contender, and Lord is now back at home at Stutteri in Denmark. Sissi Senior-esque has competed at the highest level and leads some of the finest bloodlines from Holstein that international breeding can offer. He has titles such as Premium, Champion, and Elite Stallion on his resume, and it is well deserved because he is the father and grandfather of a large number of medal mares, young horse championship winners, and several horses competing at high level, all of which have a very good quality in common, an attitude for jumping clear from start to finish. Sissi Senior-esque comes from a strong mare line, where his mother, Penelope 1, is the full sister of the Grand Prix horse Concerto 10. And then she is an addition to CC Senior Ask, the mother of a number of good sport horses, as well as the premium stallion from the Holsteiner Verband, Conditus. The sire Cassini 1 was himself an international show jumper, and as breeding stallion, Cassini 1 also managed to lift the heavy legacy of his father, Capital 1. With offspring as the world champion Kumano, the European champion Eurocommerce Berlin, the Olympic gold winner for team Carlson von Dach, Cassini 1 is one of the world's most successful producers of show jumping horses. The grandsire Contender is also an exceptional breeding stallion, with over 100 approved sons and offspring who have won over 4 million euros. He is a living legend. CC Senior Ask is approved in Danish and Swedish Warmblood, Holstein, Oldenburger, Hannoveraner Verband and Westfalen.
Jeg står her med CC Senior Ask, som efterhånden er ved at være en gammel kending for os. Han har jo i sporten selv præsteret rigtig godt. Så er hans afkom jo også begyndt at vise sig mere og mere frem på banerne. Ser tydeligt i charmanaterne herhjemme har de haft stor succes. Sidste år havde vi ham udstationeret i Holland, hvilket var med ret stor succes. Fordi vi tænkte, at han skulle lige prøve et nyt marked. Men nu tænker jeg, at det betyder, at han kommer hjem igen, så vi kan stille ham til rådighed for de danske avlere. Så brug ham.
Action Man Asset, 8-year-old promising stallion by Action Breaker, Calvados Set and Sandra Boy. Action Man Ask has in the recent years been one of the most used stallions in Denmark, and it is not without reason. He has already, in his first years of breeding, marked himself strongly. He is the sire to the best filly of the year in Danish Warmblood 2018, Carina Ask, who last year was awarded with bronze medal at the Elite Show. The Colt of the Year 2019, Ain't He Special, who also was the most expensive jumping foal at the Danish Warmblood Elite Auction, and now selected for the stallion approval in March 2022. Last year, his son Avatar Lux was also awarded Premium Stallion in Danish Warmblood. Action Man Ask has, at the age of 4, 5 and 6 years old, been top placed at the Danish Championship finals, and he has also been in the finals at both Falsterbo Horse Show and Young Horse World Championship in Sangersheide. Action Man Ask is from the same mare line as the International Grand Prix horses Harley Vidiel, Hope Sahai Set, Kevin Set and Dimitri Set. His sire Action Breaker has countless top placements at 4- and 5-star Grand Prix, World Cups and Nations Cups. With his height at 176 centimeter, Action Breaker is one of the biggest sons of the legendary Heartbreaker. Action Breaker is also the full brother of Quasimodo van de Molendreef, who is the father of Scott Bryce's Hello Sanctus, who is the only horse in the whole world that has won the Grand Slam of show jumping. Grandsire Calvados Set unfortunately died only 9 years old, but before that he achieved many victories in several international Grand Prix, and as a 5-year-old, Calvados Set also won the World Championship for young horses at Sangersheide. Action Man Ask is approved in Danish and Swedish Warmblood, Sangersheide, Holstein, Oldenburger, Hannoveraner Verband and Westfalen.
Jamen, jeg sidder her på Action Man Ask, som er ved at få lidt alder og være klar til at komme ud og gå lidt de større klasser ud til stævnerne rundt omkring. Og det glæder jeg mig utrolig meget til. Han virker som om, han udvikler sig rigtigt med super forsigtighed, masser af kapacitet, så det glæder jeg mig virkelig til at se her fremadrettet. Og så er der jo selvfølgelig også, at hans afkom nu kommer til at gå lidt på konkurrencebanerne her som i 4-årsklasserne, som jeg selvfølgelig også glæder mig meget til.
Kvartsask, 16-year-old rubber ball by Quintero Ask, Cartino, Coriander. Kvartsask has several international victories and placements behind him. He was bronze winner at the indoor Danish Championship in 2018 and was in 2020 with Karen Møller-Rude, number 10, at the Danish Championship for seniors. Kvartsask has a natural jumping ability due to his great caution, quick reaction skills, style and ability at the highest level. In his offspring is often seen his very good attitude and particularly good hind leg technique. His mother Piccolina was Mare of the Year in 2003 at the Holstein Elite Show in Elmshorn with best type and basic gaits. She proved her value at the mare test, where she had the note 10.0 for both free jumping and from the test rider, and she passed the test with a total score of 8.99. Piccolina's dam line, 5064, is also the dam line of the sires Calido 1 and 2, Paramount, Little Rock, and Yucato. His father, Quintero Ask, was a Grand Prix horse at the very highest level. With Rolf Jørn Bengtsson, he has won several 5-star Grand Prix, and in breeding, he has also left his clear mark. Probably his most famous offspring is Breitling LS, who with Bessie Madden, among others, has won the World Cup final in Paris 2018. The grandsire Cartino is the father of over 200 approved sons and more than 100 horses who have competed in 160 centimeter classes. Here among the legendary son Gazelle Ask. Kvartsask is approved in Danish Warm Blood, Holstein and Oldenburger Verband.
Jeg står her med hingsten Kvartsask. Kvartsask har jeg haft enormt mange gode oplevelser med. Jeg har blandt andet reddet DM på ham for seniorer, hvor jeg blev nummer 10. Og så har vi deltaget til et 5-stjernet stævne nede i St. Gallen, hvor vi red 3 fejlfrie runder. Derudover har jeg også vundet Christmas Show Grand Prix med ham. Det var første gang, jeg debuterede i 1,5 meter, og der var vi fejlfri både i hovedrunden og omspringningen, og det gav heldigvis en sejr til følge. I mine øjne er Kvartsask en enormt sej hingst. Han er ikke så stor, som I kan se, men han har masser af kapacitet og masser af teknik og formåen. Han er en rigtig gummibold at springe på, så det bliver meget spændende at se, om han kommer til at give det videre til sin afkom.
Joker Ask, 7-year-old talent by Zenedine, Ugano Sitte and Kassitte, is the latest investment in our stallion collection. He shows a great overview in his jumping, and with his pedigree, he gives an exciting blood renewal to our stallion collection. The sire Zenedine was for many years only sparingly used in breeding, as the focus was on the sport instead. Zenedine has also several top results in international Grand Prix with Ludger Bierbaum in the saddle. As 8 years old, he had his World Cup debut in Stuttgart, where he was clear and ranked number 7. Zenedine's first foals were born in 2014, and already from his first year in breeding, his son, Cinedream, was the champion stallion in Oldenburger Verband and sold at the auction for €215,000. The dam of Joker Ask, Dora van de Veldhofe, is the sister of Valmont du Moncelet, who jumps 145 centimeter, but also the successful military horse Mr. Big Tabander, who has placements in the largest military classes up to 4-star shows. Grandsire Ugano Sitte jumped 150 centimeter with Olympic rider Dirk de Meersman and is from one of Belgium's strongest mare lines. He is, among other, brother of the Stallion Uganusite, and is himself the sire of more than 30 approved sons and 85 high-level horses. Joker Ask is currently approved in SBS and Oldenburger Verband and will be presented for approval in Danish Warmblood 2022.
Jeg rider her på Joker Ask. Joker Ask er et relativt nyt bekendtskab for os her på Stutteri Ask. Vi har købt ham i december måned, og indtil videre har jeg kunnet nå at starte ham til et enkelt stævne. Men der indfriede han til fulde vores forventninger. Han er utrolig ridelig, han er forsigtig, han er klog på forhindringerne og springer med god kapacitet. Planen med ham er, at han skal deltage i Falsterbo Horse Show og Sangershejde i år. Og derudover så skal vi selvfølgelig ud til stævnerne og have en masse rutine sammen, så vi bliver et godt makkerpar.
Favorit Ask was born in Belgium 2005 by the breeder Jos de Matelar. His pedigree is a combination of super strong individuals, which consists of Diamant de Semely, Daco and Kidam de Revel. All three stallions of his pedigree have participated in either the European Championships, the World Championships, or the Olympics, and have won several Grand Prix and World Cup qualifications. The dam line is also incredibly strong. Both mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother are all producers of Grand Prix horses at the highest level, including Favorit Ask's full brother Elvis Chapute, who has been placed in the final at Young Horse Championship in Sangershejde as both 6 and 7 years old, and since then it has become several ribbons at the 5-star Grand Prix. Favorit Ask is an elite stallion and was in 2017 also awarded with the title as the Stallion of the Year in Danish Warmblood. He is now retired from sport, but in addition to his breeding obligations, as one of the most used jumping stallions for the past 8 to 9 years in Denmark, he has been a successful participant at the jumping shows, with victories and placements up to 150 centimeter classes. His offsprings are characterized by a very good attitude and great capacity. For the last 6 years, they have been strongly represented at the Young Horse Championship in Sangershejde. In 2016, all 5-year-old Danish Warmblood horses were by Favorit Ask, and his daughter Fendi Ask was placed as number 12 in the final. The following year, she was number 5 in the 6-year-old final. His first offsprings were born in 2011, and he is already the father of more than 40 horses who have jumped 140 centimeter or larger, including 20 offspring who jump 145 to 155 centimeter internationally. Among others, First Choice HT, who with Rikke Hostrup already has competed at several international Grand Prix classes. Favorit Ask is approved in Danish and Swedish Warmblood, Holstein, Oldenburger, Hannoveraner Verband and Westfalen.
Jeg står jo her med Favorit Ask, som jo bestemt har været vores flagskib i efterhånden ret mange år. Sådan rent avlsmæssigt, så har han jo nogle helt fantastiske blodlinjer. Og det var jo også det, der gjorde, at vi købte ham dengang. Nu begynder afkommene at komme, og det har jo selvfølgelig gjort i nogle år jo, men nu begynder de jo virkelig at gå også de større klasser, alle dens afkom, men også mange af hestene viser sig også at være rigtig gode til amatørheste. Så jeg synes virkelig avlsmæssigt har han givet lidt hele pakken, og det er vi super glade for.
Vasco Ask is a 3-year-old stallion by Verdi Clarimo Ask Concerto 2. Vasco Ask could potentially be one of the new stars in the Stutteri Stallion collection, as he will be presented at the Danish Warmblood Stallion Approval 2022. He is born at Stutteri and is a very modern jumping stallion who can add exciting new blood to Danish breeding. The stallions in his pedigree are extraordinary stallions who really have made themselves famous in both breeding and sport. His father, Verdi, has won no less than 2 Olympic silver medals and gold for teams at the World Championship in Cannes 2014. Bisanera, who is the mother of Vasco Ask, is the full sister of Clayton Ask, who has success up to 145 centimeter internationally. And his grandmother, N. Kasyapaya, has been awarded elite status in Danish Warmblood based on the great results in the sport delivered by her offspring. She is the dam and granddam of 5 S horses.
Jeg sidder her på Vasco Ask. Han er en dejlig ungehængst, som er født her på Stutteri Ask, og vi er meget stolte af ham. Vi kender jo hans afstamning rigtig godt. Hans familie, hans mor er helsøster til en S-hest, og han er også ud af samme hoppestamme som Vicky Ask, der blev årets hoppe sidste år. Jeg synes, han er en meget talentfuld unghest, der gør det utrolig nemt for sig selv. Da han blev tilredet, så var det ligesom at sætte sig op på en hest, der havde været reddet før. Han har et rigtig godt temperament.
Jewel Ask Set, a beautiful 6-year-old stallion by Jaguar van Pammel, Diamant des Emily, heartbreaker. Despite his young age, Jewel Ask has already won several titles. He was named Premium Stallion in Danish Warmblood in 2019, and in 2020 he got the title as champion. His offspring were very dominant at the foal shows last year, with no less than 5 foals selected for the elite show. Jewel's mother, Diamond's Billy, has herself been a successful jumping horse. With Olympic rider Dirk de Meersman, she has competed in international 160 centimeter classes and won several placements at the biggest 5-star shows. She is already the mother of 3 approved stallions, and among her oldest offspring can be mentioned Little Billy and Luigi, who both have been successfully started up to 150 centimeter classes. The sire of Jewel Ask, Jaguar van Pammel, is by the breeding matador Cicero Set. He has been approved in many international federations, but most interesting is that he himself has competed up to 160 centimeter classes, and that there among his first offspring appear some very interesting youngster horses at the international showgrounds. Jewel Ask is approved in Danish Warmblood and Oldenburger Verband.
Jeg står her med Jewel Ask, som bestemt er en af vores mest lovende unge heste, også i sport. Han var tilbage i 2020, var han vores mest sælgende hængst. Desværre var det sådan, at vi ikke kunne bruge ham i vores hængsteprogram i 2021, fordi han var så uheldig at få noget tarmslyng. Det ser heldigvis ud til at være gået i den rigtige retning nu, og der er ikke noget overhovedet, og han er begyndt sin optræning igen, så vi skal have ham ud på konkurrencebanerne så hurtigt som muligt. Men han er bestemt også til rådighed her i 2022.
"15-year-old Todd Prince Ask is the essence of world-class performance blood. Balobé du Rouet, Claire de Bénouville, Coin de la Lande. Todd Prince Ask became Danish champion and was a finalist at the European Championships in Rotterdam 2019. He is top placed at several major international Grand Prix. Among others, he and Søren Møllerud were number 2 in the Grand Prix at the World Cup show in Herning, and number 7 at the 5-star Grand Prix in Falsterbo 2019. His dam, Claire Dunvaux, was herself an international Grand Prix horse, by Claire de Binoville, who is a French stallion with a lot of full blood behind him. In addition being the mother of Tot en Princesk, Claire Danvaux is also the mother of the mare Abidace and Prince, who jumps 145 centimeter, and she is also the granddam of 4 offspring who currently jump 140 centimeter classes internationally. His sire Balobé du Rouet is one of the most winning horses of all times. He has been successful since a young age and has, with his rider Nelson Pessoa, won several titles, including Olympic gold in Athens 2004. Tot en Princesk has entered Danish breeding at a higher age, but despite that, he is already the father of several elite foals and the best jumping mare in Danish warm blood 2021, Vicky Ask. He has at a previous age been used in French breeding, where his oldest offspring were born in 2014. They are now 8 years old and have started to show up on the international showgrounds in classes up to 140 centimeter. Tot en Princesk is approved in Danish warm bloods, Sangersheide, Holstein, Oldenburger, Hannoveraner Verband, Westfalen, and Selle Francis.
Tillykke til Dansk Mester 2019, Søren Møllerød.
Jeg står her med Tot en Princesk, som jo bestemt er ham, som har givet mig den største oplevelse i min rytterkarriere. Tilbage i 2019, da vi kom hele vejen til mit og hans første mesterskab.
Still clear for Denmark. This could be a very good start for the Danes, and it is indeed. Nothing to add to that 78.84, which puts them into third place.
Så det er virkelig en, der betyder noget for mig, bestemt. Også for Stutteri. Nu begynder vi jo at følge lidt hans afkom. Sidste år havde han faktisk årets hoppe, Vicky Ask, som gjorde sig rigtig godt, og som vi har begyndt at komme i ridning nu. Og det ser ud som om, at hun tager hans egenskaber med på sin ridelighed og sin kapacitet og forsigtighed, altså sin indstilling til det. Så det er jeg rigtig spændt på at følge med i.
Stutteri is much more than a stallion station. It is also a stud with breeding of show jumpers, where about 15 foals are born annually. The foals grow up at Sjælland Estate, which houses the stud's breeding department. Here the young horses get used to the daily handling by humans as part of their education to be ridden as a 3-year-old. After growth break, they are ready as 4 years old to continue their training as show jumpers in our training stable at Christiansminde. At Stutteri the essential values are responsibility and respect, both in relation to the employees, the customers, partners, and not least to the horses. The well-being of the horses is always the most important thing, and we always try to find the right match between horse and rider when we sell horses from our stud. The goal is to make the Grand Prix horse who can participate at the international shows. But since our total horse population, just above 100 horses, is not wanted larger, every year talented horses are sold from our stable for the benefit of professional but also great amateur riders, both national and out of the country. Stutteri has some of Denmark's finest facilities, and it is in the process of even larger expansions in form of building a new indoor warm-up arena for the Kasser Arena, and also major optimizations of the parking and stable area. Stutteri has already held several successful jumping competitions, and in the future the plan is to expand this area, both nationally and internationally, for the benefit of everyone in the sport of Danish jumping.